Something unique, something new, and really cool.
Back to today's highlight at R&B on 93.9. Rush Hour.
You're listening to the After Drive Show on Hot FM.
Sports Beds. Listen to Hot Sports, the #1 sports program in the nation. Don't touch that dial. Hot. Lock it in. 93.9. You've never heard radio like this.
Before the election, all kinds of sweet talk. Ghana yaya mobododo, yeti sikasu ekoye. I mean, you remember all that. You remember that one? Eti mama me kwa na me ba. Messi said nyo masene be ya juma be ba de. Ezu. Before the election, all kinds of sweet talk. Ghana yaya mobododo, yeti sikasu ekoye. I mean, you remember all that. You remember that one? Eti mama me kwa na me ba. Messi said nyo masene be ya juma be ba de. Ezu. Is that all slangs that they use to govern a country. It is hard work, honesty, and truth. So I remember the other one. It says, your mind no it says, oh, the money is there. We can develop this country without going to borrow. Today,
so many of the programs that we brought, we thought about them when we were in opposition. Free senior high school, one district, one factory, one village, one dam. The digital agenda, all of these programs that are our flagship programs, we thought about them in opposition so that when we came to government, we were ready to roll them out. That's why we've been able to do. I want you to ask yourselves one question. What is the one policy that the National Democratic Congress and their leader, John Dramani Mahama, have thought about in these 5 years in opposition that they have brought to the people of Ghana? One, somebody should give me one idea that has emerged from the National Democratic Congress in these 5 years that will bring about progress from Ghana. The answer is zero, zero, and zero. Not one single idea.
Hot 93.9. Hot 93.9. Hot 93.9. Hot 93.9. Hot 93.9.
One love pour nos mamans Africa. Ma fille en say comme calme. Je vais depuis que je suis môme, c'est waté. Oh, and you n'étais à bas. Et c'est même pas du Azonto, c'est ça. Mon passeport est français. Mais je sais d'où je viens. Je suis fier de mon pays.
Hot 93.9.
Fier de mon ethnie, fier d'être Ashanti, fier de mes sœurs, fier de mes frères. On avance tous ensemble. Charlie One Love, prêt pour la victoire. Charlie Black Star, au Ghana toujours le sourire. On vit comme ça. Chez toi c'est comment, chez nous c'est l'amusement. Dans la musique t'as bouffé, tout le monde est content.
Hot 93.9. Hot 93.9. Hot 93.9.
Hot 93.9 FM so area ye mo ha enne e bnada fe bobo so ne de to so aduno so afimpinu ene aduno nai don kwa ba pan si mano edunum pepe Junu biom dwumadi esu ne medini agya so ansa se de hye dwumadi de bro free dwada kosi fiada Yetna say Ghana man yourself.
I'm so proud, so in love with my motherland.
And Kitan de Bia because we have Naya man yourself, a coso, my Yinani Agya to be a democracy, see, baby. Now, a real she make us a Ghana man penny. His Excellency Leonardo Danko Kufuado, which I'm rushing with the fee, was a minor tibia said the minor the state of the nation address. Man penny de ma. Edea, you bet him a craft. Nafi, Yasoni Bisway, ye be a frame. Now, and as I'm rushing with a few MPs, no minority side. Na aso be ba so ma wo che pa nsa na wo ba betina wo nkonwa so de ne kobae ewe ye de koso nyina be ma e wo ha medini agya so ansa dwunu biem dwumade so ni live on Hot 93.9 FM so ewe ma mo ha bi ye betu fa na afi ensempa man pani de tudwa no ya fa kakra etie bia bedafo no so ken ho hye no so na hyehye bedafo etena se Enkitam dia de bro we emu doye je brebe bibi mu ai betutu nsrani abasa baby esefata se busa na se dia se mbisa to ne de beto na anu ye bida hwa yen se atumi aka don kwa ba panse man edu dwunu biem dwumadi so ne ya mo ha amo akwa ba o man panyado dan kwa kufuado e o mra hye brefi nsem no dodo na anu waka de
under the Indian Exim facility. Tractors with matching implements, planters, boom sprayers, combine harvesters, and corn pickers will also be made available.
93.9.
Mr. Speaker, having determined that large-scale commercial farming is the easiest way to achieve our set goal of food self-sufficiency, government under the second phase of the PFJ will establish agricultural zones as a complementary initiative to address the issue of access to large tracts of agricultural land, to drive sustainable and commercially oriented agriculture. This will significantly expand Ghana's productive capacity in products such as rice, soybean, maize, and tomato. Indeed, between 2021 and 2023, rice imports fell by some 45%. In 2021, rice imports amounted to 805,000 metric tons. In 2022, 650,000 metric tons. And in 2023, 450,000 metric tons. This healthy trajectory will continue until we achieve full sufficiency in rice production. For each agricultural zone, government will partner with the private sector to provide the necessary irrigation infrastructure, develop access roads, expand power, solar and hydro, and provide mechanization services. Various locations across the country with potential to be food baskets have been identified for the establishment of the agricultural zones. They include the Afram Plains, Chopoli, Kumawu, Kratchi, and Nkranza, amongst others. Mr. Speaker, we all witnessed a spectacular increment of the cocoa price from 800 cedis per bag to 1,300 cedis. To 1,300 cedis per bag. In the current cocoa season, the highest increase in 50 years. With the current trend of the world cocoa price, cocoa farmers can be sure that I will do right by them in the next cocoa season. Mr. Speaker, government has begun the development of 7,100 hectares irrigation infrastructure in 5 identified economic enclaves within the Afran Plains agricultural zone. Work is also continuing towards the completion of the Temne Phase 3 extension and via irrigation schemes. This will make additional 1,150 acres of irrigable land available for cultivation of rice and vegetables. The Ghana Irrigation Development Authority will continue with the development of small earth dams in the northern, upper east, upper west, northeast, and savannah regions to support the One Village, One Dam initiative. Whilst at it, Mr. Speaker, we have not forgotten about the welfare and well-being of our fisher folk. My government has completed the construction of 12 coastal fish landing sites at Axim and Discove in the western region, Moray, Mountford, Winneba, Senyabreku, Gomwafete, Otram, and Infansiman in the central region, Tessie and Wusu in the greater Accra region, and Kita in the Volta region. Additionally, I had the pleasure in May last year of commissioning the newly constructed Elmina Fishing Harbor in the central region, much against the hopes of the naysayers. And God willing, soon this year, I will also commission the Jamestown Fishing Harbor, which currently stands at 88% complete and is expected to be ready by August 2024. Mr. Speaker, to help address the incidence of premixed fuel diversion and hoarding, government last year completed the installation of 50 out of the 300 premixed fuel automated dispenser. My expectation is that the remaining automated dispensers will be installed by September this year to help optimize the distribution of premixed fuel. Government will continue to take decisive actions, such as the close season, to help safeguard the ocean's capacity to regenerate and to continue to deliver substantial economic, environmental, and social value for our development.
Hot 93.
Speaker, last year, Ghana regained her position as the leading producer of gold in Africa, having overtaken South Africa. Our gold production reached an unprecedented 4 million ounces, according to preliminary reports.
Hot 93.9. Hot 93.9. Hot 93.9.
Of dormant mines like the Obuasi and Bibiani mines and the expansion of existing ones. The reduction in withholding tax on unprocessed gold by small-scale miners from 3% to 1.5% has resulted in some 900% increment in gold export from the small sector over the last 2 years. Leveraging on these resources, we introduced the innovative gold for oil policy, which accounts for some 30% of our total crude oil consumption.
Hot 93.9. Hot 93.9. Hot 93.9. Hot 93.9.
Three large-scale mines are under construction in Ahafo, Upper East and Upper West regions, with Cardinal Namdini set to pour its first gold in the Upper East region in the last quarter of this year. With these new nines, our gold production is expected to increase to some 4.5 million ounces annually. Mr. Speaker, to add value to these volumes of production, we have constructed through a public-private partnership a 400-kilogram capacity gold refinery, and we're in the final stages of negotiations for a London Bullion Market Association certificate. For our green minerals, including lithium, we've put in place a policy for their exploitation and management to ensure beneficiation across the value chain of these critical minerals. Mr. Speaker, as it has been widely reported, Newman Corporation, the world's largest gold-producing company, which operates 2 huge mines in our country and is constructing a third, has announced its intention to sell its Achim mine in the eastern region, the 3rd largest mine in the country, which produced some 420,000 ounces of gold in 2022. As part of government's policy to modernize the mining sector, to indigenize the mining sector, we will engage with Newmont to give priority to Ghanaian investors who will want to acquire this mine to ensure that our mineral resources better benefit the Ghanaian people. Mr. Speaker, we continue to work to ensure the protection of our forests and wildlife resources while reclaiming degraded forests. Some 42 million trees have been planted over the last 3 years under the Green Ghana project, and some 690,000 hectares of degraded forests have been cultivated between 2017 and 2022 under the Ghana Forest Plantation Strategy. Mr. Speaker, the main cornerstone of our move towards the industrial transformation of Ghana is the One District, One Factory policy, this government's iconic flagship initiative. It demonstrates how government can stimulate and incentivize the private sector to expand and diversify manufacturing across the country by harnessing locally available raw materials. It is significant to note that within the relatively short span of 6 years, government has directly intervened to stimulate interest in and support many private sector business promoters to make significant investments in manufacturing under the One District, One Factory program.
Hot 93.9.
Mr. Speaker, this has led to the development of 321 IDF 1D1F projects consisting of 211 new medium to large-scale factories and the conscious enabling of 110 in existing companies to inject significant capital investments into the expansion of production facilities and diversification of products. These business promoters have so far invested in 142 districts across the country, across all 16 regions, and achieving 54% district coverage. The aspiration is to bring the 1D1F project to every district. Speaker, within this period, some 170,000 jobs have been created under the novel ID 1D1F program by companies in operation. The Speaker, government approved a number of incentives, including duty exemptions to support the implementation of the 1D1F program. In 2019 and 2020, 37 1D1F companies were granted exemptions approval by this august House. However, from 2021 to date, no exemptions have been granted. Mr. Speaker, I urge the House to consider and approve all the outstanding exemption applications as a matter of urgency.
Hot 93.9.
To send positive signals to the business community. The exemptions law that you have passed provides for such exemptions under existing laws. To speak of the other initiative aimed at stimulating industrial growth that we have been actively promoting is automotive assembly and component manufacturing. It is universally recognized as a key strategic sector for stimulating industrial transformation. The comprehensive automotive development policy launched by government in August 2019 has undoubtedly been the catalyst that has attracted a record number of 12 original equipment manufacturers, including Volkswagen, Toyota, Suzuki, Nissan, Peugeot, Kia, Hyundai, Honda to set up assembly plants and produce a range of models here in Ghana. The Speaker, it is noteworthy that these investments have been accompanied with complementary initiatives to build the necessary engineering and technical skills in Ghana. Toyota Ghana has partnered the School of Engineering Sciences of the University of Ghana to establish and operate a modern auto engineering training center for engineering students and the industry to acquire applied auto engineering training. Similarly, Kia Motor Company of Korea has upgraded the Rana Motors West African vehicle assembly with state-of-the-art equipment for training of auto repair and maintenance technicians, including repair and maintenance of electric vehicles. Mr. Speaker, to spur on industrialization, we're implementing the 4-project agenda of the Ghana Integrated Aluminum Development Corporation GIADEC, with projects 1 and 2 having already taken off. And last month, we signed an agreement for the implementation of Project 3. Mr. Speaker, we will lay before this August House, at this first meeting of this session of Parliament, a legislative instrument to prohibit the export of bauxite in its raw state. We're also including phase of discussions for the establishment of a $450 million United States refinery to refine the manganese we produce. Speaker, we have all long acknowledged the trade between African countries must increase if we are to make any headway with our dreams of prosperity on the continent. I'm happy to report that the setting up of the AFCFTA with
Hot 93.9. 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 Hot 93.9.
Well, Hot 93.9 FM so and I will also go with you and say kakra dear custom rashe be feel no way e o man panyini na na danko akufuado state of the nation address no enne na esoko ode mra toto ho anka so akokra dada ntina abro yi puma kwam no na ese de Ghana tebia na CCST no eso ma Ghana fo nyina hu mo sa se wampanya moment suni men why ha no man kra nso so e bia janko den e be pia bontin de bi o ha no watwa ni tia and say pages no mako 31 what touch almost all the sectors ha did you twa mu na ankasa no e wo ha e be yin mako na afi yehu de ekoso ankasa don kwa ba pansima no aduonu ngotwe pepepe wo ha na ogusu e kakakra bi na no asinki na no usi a na afi nsem na ode tudwa no ke abono pono poso e bona poso sa e de ama na afi ye de kita odi na tumi abrel
security cover effective 1st January 2024 all pensioners on the SNP pension payroll as of 31st December 2023 have had their monthly pensions increased by 15%. This translates to 10.05% of effective increase for the highest earning pensioners.
Hot 93.9.
7% effective increase for the lowest earning pensioners. The 15% indexation rate will result in an additional expenditure of 697 million cedis. The total benefit expenditure for government under the SNP scheme alone is projected to increase from 5.4 billion cedis in 2023 to 7 billion cedis in 2024. Mr. Speaker, I believe we can say with certainty that in the tourism sector, Ghana is finally realizing her long-promised potential. Starting from the events and excitement of the year of return in 2019, Ghana has truly become an attractive tourist destination, with visitors' numbers increasing every year. December in GH is now an established and increasingly attractive phenomenon, which brings visitors to our country in the month of December and has changed the events calendar around the Christmas holiday season in Accra and many other towns. Mr. Speaker, for the first time since the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park was constructed in 1992, government has undertaken the full modernization and rehabilitation of the facility. Since the commissioning of the modernized park in July 2023, the number of domestic and international visitors has risen dramatically. A national newspaper reporting on activities at the revamped park had a screaming headline which said, Akufo-Addo resurrects Nkrumah. That gave me pause for a moment. But on reflection, I decided I would accept it, be it a compliment or criticism or an addition to the collection of sayings by elders. Whatever it is, since the commissioning, there have been 208,557 domestic and international visitors to the park between 14th July and 31st December 2023. Speaker, compare that, if you may, with the best performance until then, which was in the year of return in 2019, when there were 126,190 visitors in the year. Other facilities are being upgraded, and it's good to know that the private sector is showing interest in getting into the development of tourist attractive sites. Mr. Speaker, the National Museum Gallery, which had been closed down since 2015, has also been fully refurbished. It attracted over 35 visitors in 2023, and I'm particularly pleased the school children form a good part of the visitors to these sites. The first ever Kente Museum, aimed at preserving the cultural heritage in Ghana, has been built at Bunri in the Ashanti region and was recently commissioned by the Second Lady. Preparatory works and designs for the construction of the Heroes Park, a museum to commemorate the founding fathers of Ghana, the Big Six, J.B. Dankwa, Emmanuel Obeche Bilamte, Edward Akufo-Addo, Ebenezer Akwaje, William Uforiacha, Kwame Nkrumah, were completed in December 2023, and construction will commence very soon. Mr. Speaker, government through the National Film Authority is committed to supporting the production of world-class content and films, as well as increasing the cinema infrastructure in Ghana and by extension on the continent. To this end, a favorable fiscal tax regime for cinema projects, including income tax and VAT incentives, import duty exemptions on film production equipment, 20% tax rebate for strategic.
Hot 93.9. Hot 93.9. Hot 93.9.
Provide another tangible reason for the choice of Ghana, as a film production country. Mr. Speaker, in line with government's commitment to ensure gender equality, the revised National Gender Policy and the Affirmative Action Bill were approved by Cabinet in October 2023. The Affirmative Action Bill is currently before Parliament for consideration and approval, and we count on the support of members of Parliament for speedy passage of the bill. The Ghana Enterprise Agency, GEA, is implementing an Only Women Support Program where micro, small, and medium enterprises owned by women with the potential of scaling up their operations, increasing sales, and creating sustainable jobs will receive liquidity support. The GEA is also implementing the Youth Start Program, a youth empowerment program which recently disbursed 100 million cedis to some 3,000 youth beneficiaries to upscale their businesses. Mr. Speaker, we're also implementing some interventions directed at providing support for persons with disabilities. In June last year, a significant boost was given to micro, small, and medium enterprises owned by persons with disabilities when government launched the 12 million CD PWD Enterprise Support Program. This grant support program under the Ghana Transformative Project is being funded with the support of the World Bank. Again, the Youth Employment Agency has initiated a groundbreaking employment drive targeting 282 persons with disabilities who used to work at poll booths. Speaker, let me now turn to football, a sport that is dear to the hearts of all Ghanaians. I'm sure I disclose no state secret if I state that I am myself an ardent football enthusiast and once played in the University of Ghana team with my friend, the late President John Evans Atta Mills, Fifi to me. Throughout the years, the national team, the Black Stars, has held a special place in the affection of Ghanaians. They lifted up our spirits as they dominated Africa and won 4 continental trophies. They have at other times broken our hearts, but it was not until 2006 that the Black Stars finally broke through to the world stage when they qualified for the World Cup for the first time. You will remember that we rose up as one in our support, and they did not disappoint. Then came the spectacular South Africa 2010 World Cup and its drama, when we almost became the first African side to reach the semifinals of the World Cup. It is fair to say that since the sad events of Brazil 2014, many Ghanaians have been left disappointed by some of the recent results of the Black Stars. Their various attempts have been made to revive the fortunes of the national team and rebuild the enthusiasm of the people with varying degrees of success. The recent AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire was probably the nadir of the performance of Black Stars and has left the nation saddened. However, I am quite certain that the young men and the technical handlers would themselves have wanted to make our nation proud. And I believe that the captain, Andre Dede Ayew, meant every word when he rendered heartfelt apologies on behalf of his teammates to all Ghanaians for the team's early exit. Speaker, I believe it is time for us to take a long-term, far-sighted approach to correct what has gone wrong. It is time to return to scouting, grooming, and developing talent at the grassroots level under a presidential policy on football that I intend to unveil very soon. The school sports department of the Ministry of Education will work hand in hand with the Ministry of Youth and Sports in collaboration and synergy with the Ghana Football Association to build district, regional, and national juvenile teams for both girls and boys. The more than 150 AstroTurf pitches constructed throughout the country under this administration provide the foundational facilities to make a start as we strive to provide more, which will see a steady progression of talent up the ladder from the junior juvenile teams to the senior sides based on merit and nothing else. A similar approach has been tried before under the 5-year football development plan led by the late Ben Kofi, initiated under the MPP administration of President J.A. Kufuor. It was under this plan that talents such as Michael Essien, Sule Muntari, John Mensah, Derek Boateng, and later Asamoah Gyan and Stephen Appiah were discovered and nurtured. The results became evident to us and the world. It takes time, dedication, and patience. We cannot harvest where we have not planted and irrigated. I have no doubt at all that the Black Stars will rise and make us proud again. Mr. Speaker, the women's team, the Black Queens, who do not get half the attention the Black Stars get, have been performing quite creditably. They've gone for 10 matches without any loss until last December, and then when they lost narrowly to Namibia in the qualifying ground for the 2024 Women's African Cup of Nations. Even though they lost narrowly to Zambia in the first leg of the qualifiers for the 2024 Olympic Games, let us wish them well in the second leg to be played in Lusaka tomorrow. I hope they give us something to cheer about. Mr. Speaker, it gives me great pleasure to report that all the preparations are ready for Ghana to welcome sportsmen and women from around the continent to participate in the 13th edition of the African Games. It seems incredible, but this is the first time that Ghana will be hosting these games. It's taken a lot of courage to have persisted with the decision to host the games, especially when our financial problem came in the midst of the preparations. But I'm glad we went ahead. The preparations are all complete, and I was excited and very pleased with what I saw at Botima when I went to commission the Games Village some 2 weeks ago. We have high-class sporting facilities which will serve us well long after the Games are over. Some of the events will take place at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. It is worth noting that this is a facility started under former President J.A. Kufuor and was abandoned by successor governments. I'm extremely proud that this project has been finished under my stewardship, not just because of the Games, but also because it has taken 75 years of existence for Legon, Ghana's premier university, to have a sports stadium. I urge all Ghanaians to make our visitors welcome and to patronize the Games and cheer on the participants. Mr. Speaker, this is the 7th time that I've appeared before this House as President to give an accounting of the state of our nation. Luckily for me, I know my way around the place, having spent 12 memorable years here as a Member of Parliament. And therefore, even on the few occasions the sections of the House did not want to make me welcome, I was still able to manage. I have one more scheduled date with the House when I'll be here to give an accounting of my time in office. By that time, my successor would have been elected. And we will be getting ready for the swearing-in ceremony. The elections will be held peacefully, and the candidate with credibility to take us on to a higher level will win. Let me wish all of us well in the elections on 7th December. Before then, a number of important tasks lie ahead of us, one of which will be commissioning the Nana Adjumani Prempeh I International Airport in Kumasi and naming the recently commissioned airport in Tamale the Yakubu Tali International Airport of Tamale. Mr. Speaker, we stumbled, but we are rising again. We were bruised, but we are healing. We have recovered our footing. We have dusted ourselves off. And now we face tomorrow with confidence. Every day we pray and hope that adversity may spare our families, our communities, and our dear nation.
Hot 93.9.
That should we be confronted by misfortune, we must face it like people with a proud history who fight and do not flee. That is the Ghanaian spirit. That is our armor and our shield. This is our ethos. Let us believe in Ghana. I believe in Ghana. And may God bless our homeland, Ghana, and make her great and strong. I thank you.
Hot 93.9. Hot 93.9. Hot 93.9. Hot 93.9. Meus antepassados todos nasceram aqui, filhos Hot 93.9. Hot 93.9.
Meus antepassados todos nasceram aqui, filhos legítimos do mundo rainha. Minha África, oie, oie. Moçambique, oie, oie, oie.
Hot 93.9.
Oie, oie. Rica Zambia, oie, oie, oie. A Somália, oie, oie, oie.
Hot 93.9.
Meus antepassados
Hot 93.9.
legítimos do mundo rainha. Minha África,
Well, don't call back on Simana Adriana Enum Pepe Hot 93.9 FM. Biom Jumedi Sudi. Oman Penyado Danko Kufuado. State of the Nation address na yes, me de can catch 31 pages. A drew full team say yes, I cry Chufanabo. Wabre na day. Yes, so numsua, so numsua. No pruni munum kakra, no so pruni munum kakra. Sesi idea. Yes, what the abigu, what the nina babigu. And some the P no the atuja. Yes. And me kwa hodo a support and I say yes so masinina wumbi. Yeah. Demo na shase no di kakan. Say abato once and say abato because election 2024. Abato na because no. Bambo bayire pampe. Yes. And then on say electoral commission kita odi bi ho say ya betwa band ya ba November 7 ni ade. Wasi we parties ni na kekese ni na say adwene ni ko benkroma ha adwene. Eye pa democracy no ho na asesa ne ho. Na say mampanyi ombabo national anthem na yomu wi na afia tiesi na hye dwafie ho. Yes, ombabo anthem na wi na afia tiesi ho. And what you crown so no say say yes say ayana enyumeku ahodo no yeso masne kakra support ni ade enyumeku no na ye ka say say 1D1F no enipa 170,000 and are provided jobs under 1D1F and MPs never na exemptions are the man crofo yeso masne aban mum eneso asne baby anka ese to bi aban be kase okay we de menye to baby nipa no behia na se campaign no e behia asase o de bedi duma no aban se ni wo ni ahamedem ho agimabo sa support no MPs ne hwe afidie no eno eye se kudi nto mo hwe na afi exemptions no omonyi gintumni enko why na indigenous Ghanaian owned companies no omo henha omo na nyuma ni ntimi nkoso no metimi afa mabunu so adwuma. Yes, support na kwa ma say enhyeso nkuba kwa na se ba ku mienu bi odi egu akwa so no won se bi ho so ye mesika businesswomen we no ye bibi se eman kwa de ba be so masene kwa support no na ya ensure gender balance. Yes, and also so mampanyi ka ho asem enye ho kwa ye nuanu ma wadi dem persons with disability no also support STM kodema no and also so be ko dia momo ni nyina be create employment ni bia yeah na omampanyi be we say wada sorry ya national newspaper ba kwa report say yes Akufo-Addo na say wakwa akonya ne nkroma no Akufo-Addo yes say baby ede enkai duman kai de be kai Ghana mampanyi dada osade for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah no ade na so bia ba no yi na bia ba no yi na ba ase be wakwa ho kama say ade tourist for babiri amanfo baba show ni so ade ebo ni akoma ekobasa bi nyina ebo ama economy ni gina na so pampe. Yes okay bibi agriculture is a bebo bon kakra sa sector by sector agriculture no so no say you say irrigation project so could be a front place in the important and no over 7,000 irrigation infrastructure I cost a front place yes and what yet otisi mining kakra say okwa hafusi ya say only two from good bi no companies no ahodo anasa kese be miensa ba be shepo mo ni nyina aboa na energy sector no so otache ho yes 31 pages yeah na yana nanum ne ye papa ma ya omuso kwa ahunjie mu no ahunjie mu pension for no and also yesi binim ho a pension or pension de no mo de na so mo pension e de mo na e from do the kitwese kitwa bi Ghana so na se yesi bibia abo ayedi and unti nhihye gu akwa so na ni manim ye yana nanum kwa ahunjie mu no and also ha mu nchiche mu be se do 15% bi pension increment near the atoso the abomu said the bear ye kasa and a Ghana say no more book cost near den cocrafo no muso soja or mutisi mountain so betting at munu on betting ye never be IDB kakra so nina and so it won't be yes railway sector husband penny say ho mpakadandi na
Hot 93.9. Hot 93.9.
Memo election 2024 no. Ese bambo eduma kunu bejira na so pampe. Yes. Obeye eduma sabo abambofo. Enunti election 2024 no. Ashibu bia otrimu asesa. Security ni bedu mu dwumadi pepe nyado beja masebe wona huruka ana shebo bia wo tirim be wure gina simpi so aba be do peda bi eno de lalai wo twam yes and sempone doso na mabiga fo no so beba be kan ho don kwa ba pon sima na dwunum ba ko pepe me ka say the general secretary of the PNC, the general secretary of the PNC, and every Wababe Kamoha and Semno Dodona be Onokwana before no expectations be or minim say, well, Mampenya touch one, especially whereby yenya gender no, yenya from balance no, abemu Mampenya boss or no. I don't see a way. PNC General Secretary Janet Nabila Ekam Hoa Yedin Kitaudio no Ebesha so. Samsung ko Facebook live ho Hot 93.9 FM Biom Suni Uduwa ya fa comment ne to share page na fa afoforo so enya bi hwe why fa comment to ne share page no afoforo so ebenya bi ahwe akenkan na eguso Kitaudio na no from the side of the NDC Haruna Amaliba Ebeba Bekan Samsung Ellen Ama there Kobeba Bekan from the side of the MPP and we are more heavy. Biom Suni ko Facebook live for commenting to share page no Yebeba na fi yajebre ni akenkanin na so etumi dia ma General Kwaba
Pacho mi jusu
no apom ti say
Pacho yo
e do ba de ase ne ya hye ne besi so pepe say state of the nation address ne ba ye bejebre na fi yetimi di nkomo gadre what yeti be de ba meba before the state of the nation address now expectation be a sen no nanka bia mampanyi kura di kan de to dwadada
we see before
no na bibi o ha eno na munim se we mampanyi ese utimi mai hu we miye maybe a bibi o ha nsem bi wa mpeso touch kura ansa na bia ne o ba so
maminche obia na motiefo nyina PNC fo nso so a omotie ne medinchia kese edimo obia metwinye ntie ya meka ndi bebi a ne nhu we da me de be fast na me de problem Enti you crazy State of the Nation address ya to the NPP4 by ya Omayema Ghana for Omampenia Babe a whole lot of analysis about how things are going in the at their camp. Juma Omudi ya Omodema Ghana for so we should before the State of the Nation address one of the things are na PNC no dream is also affirmative action. Man mema because of this bill and you say Oman Penini or touchy on it or touchy on that sector. And so we share your economy on the agri sector obia kan edwane we show the number of challenges are you Ghana who say food is one of the acting agents are Emma hardship eba krum and won say what can be kakra but necessarily ye pese ekono
say eno de kakra de watimi aye no na mo expecting the senko bia waye mo anase
wa ka de obeye but the obeye o mine no be like we get out of the problem of food crisis no
okay
no still but onu de onu so waye de ss on ye ne kura ni say wunum se ne omo bra de bia obi si o ye president a juma omo ya at times ye tenancy na e kan sema ye pe but truth be told omo ye de ss omo ya Ghana betima akọ omonim number of times I already dinner ho okasa
yes
31 pages say obi can say we read even 10 pages we betimi
enough
but automatically
almost touch all the sectors
into we the MPP4 from the PNC we the me person say they've done well omo government omo ba almost why the SSO omo ye na president in fact very strong and energetic very strong and energetic so they can say yeah dauma si papa and there are a lot of issues okay maybe we will look into the we'll expatiate more on the issues okay and the be maybe your PNC for your bad there is be but the can
then say the other chance of the security and the chance now security na say ye ko election wuntino den ya watch the border side so far Gulf no so wona ku ni ade insecurity ni ade e ko so terrorist ho watch say enye far from Ghana there ba say there yenkwa etie and as a terrorist attack na yenya bi in this country now election 2024 and also enya de aye ba betina say obiti ne baby no de huye na say erukasim bieba aban na boa no a threat and a statement of say yen threaten crofobia yen yaban also maybe eduru ho akwa na say genuinely say you provided that security ahead of election 2024
na ye Ghana for ene so nim say West Africa ye nim juma ekoso West Africa ye na ye part of nti oka about the security issue and say we are blind about the issue yanka say ye nim issue ewo ho ansana ye be call your elections nti omanpenye ka about the security of this country ye no because border country we betima like you can walk to Burkina Faso from Hamili Wetima nantia ko Burkina Faso Bumpurugu wetima nantia ko Burkina Faso so here any neighbors just a walking distance and say omo problems wo ho a na ye wo border countries especially Boku ye border country yesu ye woni pa omo wo ho a hwe die nsem asem e ko wo Boku and say about security issue ye ni say there is a security problem in the country and as a country and politicians are ever going to election we have to be mindful of everything that we do including media stations so be banner who say inflammatory language or can ebetima cause a lot of problem for the people of Ghana. Such issues we don't we curtail them say and to go into that extent. Into only president security people they can just protect but a few. Into assemble yenina whether MPP, NDC, PNC yenina yebewo problems so. Into as political parties are or can be a yemi de power or see or be protecting and making sure say elections will be free and fair.
Yeah.
And this is what Ghanaians are looking for. Electoral Commission, an independent electoral body. They are not they are not answerable. They are not answerable to us. Constitution powers so electoral commission ensure that there is free and fair election. That is something that I loved so much. Say a free and fair election in the country. That is the only thing the people of Ghana are demanding for. Say Ghanaians see PNC. There is no way obibe prevent omo vote my party and omo any other political party so omo betima vote my party no, but they should be given the mandate and the mandate should be respected at the end of the polls. We are in Ghana for years no, and also see obe boa and make sure say obe like you protect the polls and make sure that whoever wins will be the winner. And you can say me the papa because onu a lawyer and also about breaking the law on him incidents on person on
what about the suggestion say December 7 and November 7? Well, ye deliberating na yenyina ye jatum di anke hardwene say even the electoral commission between they are starting.
When the example me mama kakra sa issue when say PNC, NDC, other political parties. Ne di petition come electoral commission.
Ana de koy.
Ye de koy. Ye that time no NDC NPP na power. And e sa suggestion you call
PNC.
Na ye NDC na power. And na PNC, CPP, NDC. Na almost all of us. You see, and
petition come electoral
commission said this is consider shifting the date from December to November. That's number one. Number two, instead of say you better what dates 17th, this thing 7th. You're shifting it today, like Monday, specifically Monday.
And fat date into 7th.
7th. A day. So that it will not affect Muslims, it will not affect Christians, it will not affect traditional believers. On Saturday, almost sumo on Saturday, it will not affect any of them. Until when a deliberation Saturdays but my electoral and the MPP for at that time no more against no more opposition.
When NPP was in opposition,
they said the timeline was too short. Until Omunjai na yanko elections no after that. And Omunjai yanko elections. Until same way is like NPP, NDC, Bruhaha.
No, is it say will be your power? And I say opposition we are against.
Like when the NTR make sure medicine. So we say NDC no more power. Juma electoral commission Until almost fear so much because mona mo fa days na buy. Mo dey buy and na mo agree boni be towards the elections and na mo dey buy. See we know because you wanted Ghana to progress. Baby December you will run off and baby your problem. Yeah, even handing over news. Now baby your problem. We are good. No, yes, adieu sir. We dey share almost for almost in grandpa. Yeah, George we are Liberia. Almost elections. How many? About 6 months inside and 3 months before transfer of power. In Ghana dear from 7th to 7th of January a big giddy sir. So a month. So when changing so that maybe they can be even
until run of crack or bar. Still you been that time I could run off now.
Now you need the nitty-gritty. And Ababeya assemble IPAC.
DNA money so difficult to accept because Martin so paying.
Almost see okay, according to some people, almost see time now ye di beyes adien. Electoral commission they have a lot in their hands. Omudi timetable beba and now omubeye juma way it will be serious on them. And the electoral commission see there be ye betima ye almost see there be omuntimi ye. So that is a problem now no almost see is there are good rules and regulations we accept it. But the problem here is that electoral commission the time is too limited for electoral commission to do that.
Okay. Now yeah say yen fan say ye time no and I said day no from 7 December near the about November no and okra November no mo de ba mo so mo pe day not a specific date
no
today until be a Tuesday and Monday But in this case, December, when I see between pay the same day, na bio. Say you share na get the batch le behaduna. Say December, when you between me pay that Monday and Tuesday instead of 7.
And also be because to some of even though you almost see my religion, but basically me the two because almost can we share the this in SDA for the buy.
Yeah.
Muslim community, sorry, I can say more like do it for us.
Okay.
Because a year about Friday, yes, so a higher chief imam office letter buy.
Chief imam office.
Chief imam
any letter buy.
Any letter ability say a spokesperson or can say they are also supporting what SDA is saying. Inti na omo kasa na yesu enya church we cause church we nim church bi mu omo ko early in the morning normal we between 3 to 4 obi mu 5
the bidding crack in sections.
Yes.
Yeah.
Inti we ebe hardrin ye nyina ye nim say ebe hardrin and na we share 2021 population and housing census. There were 94% of Ghanaians being religious. 94%.
Ghana for nyina almost so
obi oye Muslim, obi oye Christian, obi oye nyina traditional believer. 94%.
Okay.
Na 94% for C.
Hot 93.9.
Yes,
because now it is affecting SDA4 and the SDA4 they are part of Ghanaians. Democracy means that obi oye ni pakitwa say no voice, you should hear it. So you don't say that SDA4 say share maybe 17 million or 18 million voters are only a percentage ben. That's not democracy. Okay. So whether MPP or NDC they will support it or not, they can say what SDA for let's look into it and make sure that democracy is upheld, because they say it's a problem for them and they changing now it will not reduce any money or any or cause any problem for the MPP or NDC. And causing any problem. They never cause a mom. Oh, can't say. So we have problem here.
You change it day
now. And Kato no Bibia. It will not bend their political party offices and destroy the deep political power. Now it would be someone who say identity and
so what was the position of PNC then and now?
Then we supported it. We supported the NDC that it was a good thing. And then so you support it. We are always systematic when it comes to those things. Okay. So our we've not changed our
position on that. Okay. Hot 93.9 FM. So Biom Suni na enipa nene kasa sisi de PNC General Secretary Janet Nabila na area kan wa. Mampanyisi mo kan say eni ani mo de sha say the security no and sha say in it na odi be wo mu say election na ebe kono ye hu say ebinimo atro krata ba yense date ne day no o say ade no kra wo mo de akwat na so pen dada PNC for ne other political parties ne bibi atwam ba asenti ase no anya adwuma aban wo so se CA de no mampanyi say de to apaso ne gya ide hu komo ne be ya yenya Ghana for bit ma fix the very day na yenya specific day instead of date nti e ka se benada ebia afibia ibesimu anase afia ibesimu no ne de bosom ye toso ebia edu baako no ne de toso edakronim nemom ne blanda bi edin kan ye beto abana na ye hu say yi a Christopher afrim ye nananom bu de sundi so ahwan nje duro bi atimi koto abana bi na asori bi ama mema excuse well mampanyi tache ehona kakra na in terms of na nhwe gender balance no se no so ase ma no ye say ye be say ema no ye pe bibi ti say women support programs ntiwe dia manko a yemfansi informa ena yekobo yetamsika na dia ko informa we dia ma munye na mfanya adwuma ma for so e be create employment. Is that the way to go?
Hot 93.9.
Aye penny say MPP and NDC are omoda parliament. They should pass the affirmative action bill. Didn't you make catch me me who oba owo MPP and NDC opria okun nipa na ye me ya. Because MPP and NDC almost time mapa, almost pay your votes, but almost time mapa. Since the inception of democracy, some two political parties where almost alternative power within themselves are haters of women. They have never loved.
They have MPs.
But affirmative action. How many are they? And when they even the omuka, who say last that was March omu churo krata about this affirmative action. Man now almost support here. Omuka but still our parliament is undermined about my issues. Into the me can say omu no parliament at this particular period. Say omu pass affirmative action bill now. Barry elections are no ma bia obe was our constituency no. Omu because they are not looking for the interest of Ghanaians. Share you were sir omu from Mosenkra employment agency commission the labor commission your friend no say ombra no be ka gender asem oba you can say public sector oma employee 87% of men and 13% of women. We show young kasa your constitution so share both MPP and NDC. They don't care about the constitution of Ghana. They have been stepping on the constitution without anyone's knowledge. We share article 17 article 17.4 of Ghana constitution. See whenever we have difficulties, political, social and other sectors, parliament should enact laws to solve those differences. Because we say constitution we can't win, and there what problem with gender representation in parliament. Women representation in parliament 40 out of 275, and now we first article 14 17.4 on Yejuma our parliament and the Ghana constitution. Ghana constitution, but no one can say they are not even following the constitution. Share article I think 36 6B and 35 6B of Ghana's constitution, the directive principles of state policy. I see say about we be recruitment we be say we share say man knows in member so knows in mama. Okay. Look, put on a gender lenses to make sure that you execute it whenever you are employing. Now sir commissioner now oba labor commissioner na dey oba ye hono no bisani say we read this part of the constitution. But maybe omo koye so omo ko pay money e fa omo maybe omo koye na man kan so won't mean for so say yeah okay one can say him say it is not right like that. Baby ejuma share number of ma omo sorry ye security agencies omo koye like omo di man memo. You see security agencies mo monitor na mo share. It's not like they are not qualified. They are qualified. They are qualified. Security agencies here, who said more or less, if you are man for that manpower job. Who told you? Now it was in the olden days, manpower job. Singatona, member challenge cooking blah blah blah. For so many days without sleeping. We see the security job man. So who that gender balance between the two parties? There is no any gender balance. MPP and NDC. No, they can say both MPP and NDC. Like boot the constitution of Ghana. So boot constitution of Ghana. And you can say mamo ye can this in constitution see so be recruit mamo the representation of women. We don't do that. We don't do that. And now we share parliament between NPP and NDC for affirmative action bill. This is the second time it's going to parliament during Yankasa former president John Mahama era 2015. Di affirmative action bill koye o ka kire ma say yensan tuma na sana na wa pass bill no and the MPP for ka kire say di ba 6 months time be pass affirmative action bill no nti man to momo and omo to momo ye so still ye nim so be pass bill na pass. Yeah, before me mo anu so no man panin ka say no say for the first time say ye ka say no machine pa obi aboa me no machine akoso a uyi na ban film ni na for the first time BC some atron so who mo twapa so no omo ko free senior high school no and so you film enyi no see free senior high school no and no ya label by its detractors as mere political slogan but okumpa in fact a transformational program are breaking the myths in our minds. And we are correct. Sure. Apart from we say politics from there be kanukria MPP almost free education no aya dear in the realms of this country abon collaborate share yesterday democracy and this SS and to SHS debia mutual exams are they are using the examination mark to give you a school. Obi near 8 our English or maths our near school ko. Obi we as a result we made sure that look education from primary up to secondary institution is a must. It is a social right. It is their a human right. A human right.
A must.
It's a
social right.
Yes.
Whereby kodano unsunyade no
work. So you go to other countries omo ye examination for JSS and sana work for SS. SS na be kire say we be ko university and na we ko university.
Okay.
But Ghana ye the way they are preventing a lot of people. Inti ye free SHS buy no. I think that me memo operation leave no child behind, especially of me na me yes ade no operation leave no child behind. As a result, one day na me wo omo results buy no na ye meeting PNC for ye meeting wo teachers hall na me hu akwala bia oye 14 years oba honomo na another akwala me bisa no o si me school and omo si me ba ha omo replace me. The way she was talking, if this girl was not together, and I said okay, don't worry, today is Saturday, maybe Monday, because obiani ye meeting wa hanamo nti kone Monday na mbe hwehwe school amount nti if you were to see how sad the child was, that she was not replaced, but they gave her hope that say oba ho mbe replace amano nti obi obe cancel free SHS bia and na o free SHS nyete say na ekono the person will do a great damage to this country. Sure, SHS is a right. It is not say we go try exams now obi ho sure ye mubi ye ko school ye nim senior school kwa JSS and some of us are ye ya adwini obi mo SSS and mo hu say na we go blocking ni pakro from JHS level. It is not right. It is not right. Until we there Mamin Kanikureno, the president Nana Akufo-Addo and then his government, they have done well for the people of Ghana when it comes to the educational free SHS. And which are now saying Obimusi free SHS expensive. Wukwa their difficulties. It's true. Me bawo SHS one. Difficulties no.
Okay.
Omo council so say there are difficulties. Bibia adipabia there are difficulties.
Okay.
It's true say government is doing it, but your corporate organizations it's almost DNA ebe preventing Guinness Ghana limited say omo ko ho na omo ko show omo situation na omo make sure say omo they can put up a binary for them DNA be distracted that enti omo your corporate institutions are omo work Ghana
more responsibility
they have a responsibility omo yeshi omo sorry omo than politicians are omo 1990 from one place to another talking about politics omo yeshi our Ghana enti omo bebre omo kano. Let's target the corporate institutions that they should also do something to help the guy. On that aspect, we will extend free education to the tertiary level. That is what is in our manifesto.
When you cry, you see Miska, the Ben Amu extended from.
Yeah, be extended from this place to the tertiary level. When they say omu nisika ban send omu operative free SHS.
Okay.
They do omu nisika omu operative free SHS no. PNC bar we will extend it to the tertiary level and we will get money to be able to do that. Me who say who can about the omu ye mamba ena the ekeka ho. Can say like giving loans to papa it's also good.
Okay.
But the PNC for year can say there should be like a bank, like National Investment Bank, and has something, a government something. For loans, mama, businesses are di micro agencies chia, di business bar from. And the can say, and yes, nimpe maslock. Because
Maslock before government initiative bisa Maslock mama
Maslock like political into appointment in when banks are is through their dissing into Maslock somehow political and this was yeah no more and this man more this in MPP one baby this him into the American say so mu crazy more person more ma Ghana they should give chance to a bank like ADB and a National Investment Bank say we your bar where we hairdressing where we dress making we person will call establish they should look for people who will look into their proposal without any collateral. oma shop this no o see me per store na oma ba be rent store no yes say mo di sika ne be tun sa there omo be ba be share store no ma share a good location a omo be to retrieve omo sika back no oma ka kire ne say there be ahaye ye no wahana mo owi a ne bibia no mo ma sika ne in trenches a obenye ni nyina enye say oba a wudi sika ne be share ne sa say onko ene de oye business no monitoring and evaluation during a champions era na sa na omoye operation feed yourself and your industries enye say obekwa na omo disika na ma o say kokoye family omo beba you land na wa we di land no we a omo beba bedo na omo ba bedo omo ba be yet omo be ni sa
chain ni oho asika ne nkodi ni papa ko say
enye sa akura mpo sika mbe this na ma ho fandrani there o omo beba be hwe land na wo bedo no we be dono nipa omo ba be this no they will give you the money we are now about for the next entrenchment omo ye ni sa till time e be this omo wie krampo a omo harvesting they will help you in everything ama osika omo wie na omo say why dia they can even give you some of the like tractors and things they give you
we bet me aye
enti
that's empowerment na ho na wo nyese sika na sheba nunsuo kakra hot 93.9 FM we adwunu ho biem so na the General Secretary of PNC Janet Nabila NRA yenna di ehia ha yedi nkomo after the State of the Nation address they can major man no go through no ahwe say saade we di anisuade the yemfa say hope this sunay hope in 2024 and that's will be na ahwe because the former president Amma signal be say whoever comes as president and any government I'll be forming in 2025 no be brepa because sikasem ni ade no ejija haruna amaliba wa ha we NDC ni mapa amaliba akwaba na pom to say
but that's what you say
do bad ya say mampanyini ewie wa tutu bia kama 31 pages nse bi ho for now you better touching kakra sector by sector but at the hope biaba so
minchia na minchia PNC General Secretary na minchia ye
93.9
you usually say obi ni Ghana ha ochi like what time we machine so na Mampini Kasayim enemy PNC General Secretary so the allusions are all na any aspersions are all casting. It is giving a negative light and try to dissuade the public say at the public coso and uncle say enye. Wusu. The hypocrisy in our political enterprise and practices. And the praise singing, even abra adienye, ayi nim se bia ekono, e de ekopem. Na ye bi yenu, ye bu yenu eguso. Ni atonwom adi ekire no. Eno ne boman. Kan you mo shua kamenti ha? Kan wonti be woti?
Yeah.
Sanso na ni ye bayi so konka onti asubi. Ento bia beka se woman shua enye bia no na nipa no ni oka na ban bia so nyoma obeye bia boa ma woman shua akonkan no wo se ye boa sa free wholesale free SHS we no and you do as you go
and say
without being concerned about quality
Hot 93.9
and also the effect of that kind of education in the system. Obeka yewa and the University of Ghana a school for baby because of poor performance in the university. Omo feel such as for ameboa.
Oh, but say university mostly afibia yibi
e don't try to justify anything.
No, but
the lectures was categorical that some students they aggregate A they buy but they are unable to even calculate percentages. Common percentage they are unable to calculate it. But Nipane ba Oku University no mass or the A and echo. Is that right? Is that what we are looking for as a country? Nelson Mandela Emma speech in South Africa. portion of that speech, a paragraph was taken and posted in an entrance of one of the universities in South Africa. They know, if I can paraphrase, it was said to destroy a nation. You don't need missiles and atomic bombs. Lower the standard of education. And once that is done, doctors, patients will die in the hands of those doctors. Money will be lost in the hands of those accountants. Justice will be missed in the hands of those judges. And all of that. Breaking education is breaking the country. Complete. For the free SHS, that is what we are talking about.
Oh, Simon.
The catch now. Because Masa, forget your client. I am not here to sing praise him. Family is bent. Forget about that.
Hot 93.9.
Once I'm publishing Kumabo, no did that. Before my pinnacle for the battle, no school Kuma. People are going to school. Obi aggregate 40 when some secondary school. Because a Nippon so when you share your cry, definitely he will go to school. They will not learn. Shankola will not share the kind of buffer or mocha. So we should not look at quality. No standard again. That's what they are telling us.
But I say
education without standard.
Meaning say or say when a must.
Education without standard.
Senior high school there a must.
See, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Even despite all the praise singers, are you aware that 2024 year, you're over 137,000 free SHS students are to me report here according to GS?
Among core school.
Yes.
Okay.
Why? Because of economic access.
3.9.
Prospectus Samuso where just one regional at Western region. 137,000 students to me reporting because their parents are unable to afford prospectus or also motor. When near to praises. The framers of the Constitution were very wise. And even under Article 25, when they were talking about education in Ghana, they said the state must provide resources and make education progressively. Progressively. They didn't say wholesale. See the year me who are doing pitch video be viral. Free SHS phone. In Colabes at 12. A Dwene span back on the Mujina home. And now I'm on a toe and a dumb. I'm on a toe and a dumb. What the more come I won't.
What's Akofasa?
Yes.
Kofasa.
But they decided to do when I was school. And they are telling to keep quiet. They don't let them call. I just want them to call Sakwa in the crowd. You didn't come out here. You didn't come out here. Article 17, right? One of the constitutions, 15:1 says that the dignity of every person shall be inviolable. What do you mean by the dignity of every person? Shall be inviolable. Whatever expression inviolable, that word inviolable means. And you treat people in Kuala like this. One more MP before one master of the senior high school or
so in that case, they
will not allow them to eat no kind of food. I am not saying the law said that progressively, and in the wisdom of President Mahama, he started building 200 community days in high school. Bringing access and bringing education close to the doorstep.
When you implement so doesn't mean say progressive progressive.
As we speak, the policy need to be reviewed. There's not even a policy document governing the free SHS for the last 7 years. No policy document. They'll not be able to review it and tell them the program is achieving a positive outcome or it is not achieving a positive outcome. And we are on it. Do as you go. Look, when your MPP for Nankasa budget, 2017, page 133, paragraph 781. Tiono, that's the education, paragraph 7, 8, and education. 8.1 say other social intervention expenditure in the sector for the period under review included an amount of 71.91 million Ghana cedis for the provision of subsidy to senior high schools, SHS, 25.96 million for the implementation of progressively free senior high school under President Mahama time. The progressively free senior high school, we started it, and we were doing it progressively, absorbing the cost of tuition and quality training school to lessen the burden on parents. So that everybody will be covered. No compromising quality and making sure say environment and quality be sure deal are very important. Now, the videos and pictures keep coming and quality blog so you've been seeing it. Very heart wrenching. Bro, they have no place to sit. So we are talking about free education. But the base, kindergarten, primary school, but the PNDC General Secretary made a very profound allegation of constitutional breaches. And I want him to authenticate that claim because can you be a client, General Secretary, Emma PNC, I can't allow it to go unaddressed. She alleges that the NDC have trampled on Article 17.4.
Both parties.
Please, I am talking about NDC because I don't speak for NPP. I don't speak for NPP.
Okay.
I represent NDC. Good. Listener will know that. But see, if you look at Article 2 of the Constitution provides that a person who alleges that an enactment or anything contained in or done under the authority of that or any other enactment or any act or omission of any person is inconsistent or is in contravention of a provision of this Constitution may bring an action in the Supreme Court for a declaration to that effect.
93.9.
We know the
upon what time who say NDC have contravened Article 17.4? And at what point in time?
Oh yes,
as NDC in government, our actions or omissions constitute a contravention and a violation as is alleged under Article 17.4.
I know is it about gender balance now?
If that is the case, then I'm saying that she can go to court, to the Supreme Court, and demand a declaration to that effect. Some allegations in Farmer Radio. In any case, I disagree with that. The NDC have a discriminatory tendency against women in this country. The intestate succession law, which see a political party, the tradition, it is NDC.
93.9.
From the PNDC time under Jerry Rawlings, Mami Kunodu, former first lady, Juma Benham Amina here, and from projecting by Ukumba. This affirmative action that Wokano, it came as a result of the ingenuity and the advocacy of this woman and the contingent of women from 37 December.
Is
that law? Who takes the law to Parliament? Is it the minority? Huh? Why don't you call upon?
Was citing both parties.
Why don't you call upon? It is not even true. Remember, say, Mahama can say, and Mato Abamano, no, but now should be no pass affirmative bill. Mahama can
no, say, Okas after elections. Okas after elections. And I'll be
the fact that, have you forgotten that there are a lot of laws in this called Parliament that it means resistance? Classical example, a right to information law.
Opposition then,
and also the Constitutional Review Commission report.
93.9.
When Parliament started the scrutiny that will eventually to the implementation of those proposed amendment of the Constitution. They might know and the chairman the kind of things they did. And sometimes I blame my party because there are certain actions the government takes when they need to bulldoze their way through. They allow the MPP to have their way. And be anything now. The free sanitary pad policy for our female child in the senior high schools was the brilliant social intervention policy that is focusing on the female reproductive health, the mothers of the next generation of the country. MPP sat down, made the policy, so all kind of they demonize it, and the party coiled, and all the government coiled. I disagree with my leadership on that. So, and it is never true that the NDC violate women in this country. Of course, when we were in power, which party member positions more than in this government? And mention can be made to a lot of them. NDC as a political party. Netima you Oba as a chief, how do you call it? Speaker of Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. The NDC, so as a political party, have nominated a female, a woman, as a vice presidential candidate of the country or of the party, who could have possibly become the vice president of Ghana if NDC had formed office or had formed government in 2020. So what allegations are you talking about? But see, to me, I think that it is a fanciful daydreamer of a confused driver who have crashed the bus and looking for a place to dissipate his shame. I see anything. A diaby no also confused driver or they can't accompany. No problem, be according to Limguasi, and who die in also parliament. Let me tell you, Wusu, me the terrorists, armed robbers. Where are they? I love terrorists more than armed robbers. Are they? Yeah, for very good reason. Terrorists will not attack you without giving a reason. I'm saying you love terrorists. Yes, more than armed robbers. Terrorists will not attack you without giving a reason. The question is, me you're dead serious. Ghana how you win? And the bad na Ghana aye. What foreign policy decision na Ghana are taking? Yeah, I know. Let me trigger terrorist attack on Ghana. So be by na be Betuya. It will be as a result of the recklessness of Mampini Akufo-Addo and his senior brother Tinubu, so the junior brother who out in Nigeria. Their behavior and attitude toward the Sahel political instability, namely the coup in Burkina Faso, Niamey, the Niger, and that of Mali. They nearly brought terrorists closer to us by threatening to wage war against these people. But they don't why. One of the trouble, man. No, no, my echoes no abide them why. No, to abide no good. No, and I'll cause some perfume. Yeah, can during the elections 2020. Your bonipa 8 kuomo na ba or say the political party nkoye sadio one watching na tum has investigated it. The political party well yeah could drop I just simply so ama wo mo hwe mo bushofo ne yakọ wo yem da this time or send this signal or say number 1 bia or the election then yes the security work accordingly. The security work did accordingly. If the security work accordingly we want the Mampini Akufo-Addo to arrest the hoodlums and jail them. So to me, yes, Adriana, then we can have a conversation. We can then have a conversation. Why is Adriana? He hasn't done it. And he is not coming to threaten us because don't protect yourself. Oh, see, we want the security agencies are going to protect the elections. But I don't trust any security officer during the election. How? I don't. You don't. Because of precedents. Because of precedents. Ayawasu was gone. Before much Ayawasu, and important. Boneba no Maye. Bawanesi polling station. Boni Omoye ne say, "Wo mo da sori anapa. Electoral commission say election day. Yen koto ba yi. Na se bedwani obegina di share ho anem." Because of Chematie Jako a yen kopo to nsa frɛ no. Na wo mo koya. To trafo a meaningful nipa bonifo wudifo a. Boni adoko mo kuma mo ma. 0.9. And the police car. Ya police ni ne command wo mo azugu. Adam tonton che asha omo say you bot mamu phone nku omo azugu no ye de ni oye police ni na afeye de na ode hoodlums na ko we oye hoodlums say o command police officers. I don't got police. Are you saying here with fact say are you saying here factually? No, are you making a factual statement? Say those guys were police officers. No, what I know is police officers command police and police commanders command police officers. Omo no say kakino or the police. Na azugu one or command you. Were they police? Because me who say police commander commission of inquiry. And the short commission of inquiry he said he led them. Yes. Were they police? As we are saying here say police command police, that is true. But the guys Azugu led that day, were they police? Are you making a factual statement to your listeners, to the public and to the nation and the world at large that you, Agya Wusu, is saying here on your platform? Say Wamua, Azugu leading Wamono, they were police. Because Azugu answered were they police? Were they police? Azugu answered it in front of the panel. Said those guys were police. Or say a joint team. A joint team. Yes, a joint team. As we know, say a joint team. They do election day. And those guys were police. Security agencies come together. And those guys were police. 93.9. Those guys were police. It should not be necessary police
police.
Thank you very much. They were police. Thank you, sir. When I walk out the police because you were saying that Azuku led the police. These police officers, you know, they shot civilians and broke their legs. So now Ghana police shoot civilians in election day. So if I see a police officer wearing the gun in election day, who should I see him? Looking at a number so was gone. Ghana from so
what is wrong with them?
Because I tell you so on the platform to say Azuku and Crawford did Omono. Omo ya post for but at traffic. Omo dia Sada my answers to. Answer. Because the conversation we're having it here, as we are saying what happened, and you are confirming here, we're making an affirmative statement.
Haruna
very dangerous. Answer what?
Yeah.
What you say?
Hot 93.9.
Akwabi your friend of Brigadier General Afo. So what did they do? Oh, but I saw your former tier, you maintain ye. Bonnie be any pabedino. What could you be? That Brigadier General Afo. The commander command the northern command of the Ghana Armed Forces and headquarters to Kumasi. Okotna a direct committee in the name say they send their men to go and maim a direct protesters. Maim, M-I-A-M, maim.
But I know it has nothing to do with elections, and I said no for elections.
See, I am talking about spirit of violence in the system.
The president was talking about elections.
We are talking about election is also a subsection of security in the country at large. And even if protesters, in any case, elections is a political activity. Kaka Yekunu by virtue of what? He's doing political activism. Right?
Samum.
Brigadier General Afo, I can say, they send the soldiers there to go and maim the protesters. Yehu, another video. A capture soldier. What also from Emily Patisakant here. Nobody true on the
election day to the men portray this.
I am not portraying anything. Yes, it doesn't matter what the president died. So I just saying here that Nippon election day we should overlook it. You are performing wonders on your show this afternoon, and I'm so shocked. So you know about that other running. Okodna commission there dance you know. Number 3 US. Baku ekwese kan wori nu akunu. Na de ba kuma no see no. Na US abai a cheater boy na tum. We just for collusion color too. This is how Yakopon etua bone foka. We wash masin kukum konforma na wo ma de ogun kugo do ti nsua de. And you onko what about the election day? Miamikrom, Garu and Tempare Enclave. And you might also Boko particularly. So, sir, we are seeing a state of violence going on. And election day no violence. Sabano security. Government will omonyo. Omampini kufaro is zero. Can Japan say bad galam say now? Omampini hini na pro. A ban security omampini hini imponi be a pro. Atetia pansam mate because say national security minister Abed Kandapa ekujina parliament control say Garu Timpani boys now say omo chinkrofu omo terrorist na community phone ko tutuo omo say boy there for special operations special operation omo call ya district commander of the BNI didn't know. Regional commander didn't know. Election day. I'm telling you, this is the same government I was saying. See something, say something. Yeah. When the people see something and complain, government sends soldiers to go and beat them. There are a lot of unresolved murder cases under their time. I'm sure they are going to What has the government done about it? So these are the last who can tell about security. But maybe they're crying winning. 3.9. Sabani election day. Yes, it's a date. Na ye fankoshe here. Me only be on the date wankoshe biya. I also have a problem with that. I didn't hear. What the date ko see me birthday so so.
We are not dealing with individuals.
We are not dealing with individuals. I'm not a Ghanaian.
We are Ghanaian.
I'm not a Ghanaian. It's my life no matter.
Birthday in
It's my life no matter. It's my life no matter. And to me as I say Ghana is a secular republic, a religious country. It's a civil duty. Election is a civil duty. A due Sunday. A do Saturday, a do Friday, choose one. But would you say what can secular there? But you to say do amemu na ya do na bedwina kono. Yes. Do amemu na ye bunu. Ye do amemu say ye timamu for in collective. And here on our religious basis. The constitution doesn't addresses us by virtue of your religious beliefs. Of course, everybody has the right to believe in to believe in whatever he thinks is right. Mm-hmm. But the Constitution does not prescribe a particular dogmatic system to be imposed on the state. Therefore, the state cannot be asked to absorb a liability because of the Crophobic faith or believe in December 7th. Any day they trouble. So do would also that you have a right to do that.
Okay.
There is another issue which I think that need to be looked at. Mm-hmm. When we begin to see state institutions as sacrosanct, a demigod, and challenge entities, as the General Secretary of the PNC alluded here, that Electoral Commission is not answerable because they are constitutional body. I cringe. Article 1 clause 1 of the Constitution provides that the sovereignty of the Republic lies in the people of Ghana. It is out of that, and we are appointed to Minikakra and they create Electoral Commission. Mm-hmm. All the state institutions, including the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature, they are accountable to the people of Ghana any day, any time.
But not accountable to any political party. Not accountable to any political
party. Who are the political parties? Who are the political parties? The political parties are the organizations formed by the citizens in furtherance of their ideological and political philosophy that they believe in. And they form government.
And accountability no spread it to those parties.
Of course. And the political parties hold the state institutions accountable to the people. Yes,
but not the people holding the state institutions accountable.
Why not the people hold the state institutions accountable? How do you decouple the two? Why don't you if I say me Amaleba me NDC me say I cannot hold the UC accountable because me NDC if I do I am advocating for a political party. That is not the case. So the point I'm making here is that contrary to that assertion by the PNC General Secretary here, the Electoral Commission is accountable to the people.
That's it.
NDC does not do any secret trade with the UC when we are in office. When we proposed 2016 earlier, saying to about November 7th, they disagreed with us. Fine.
On
the same basis, they say no. This time election is too close.
No, it's now principle.
Let's do it.
Principle.
I have principle.
Principle. Principle.
Principle beyond society. What the MPP saw that time, objective. If there was any valid reasons, those reasons too are still valid today.
What I say. Hot 93.9 FM. Where Biom so NRA Wasugusu Awutieno. Haruna Amaliba, a member of the National Communications Team of the NDC, area wakam ho mampanyi State of the Nation address and the free mobile na Agya idi ho kakra. Now you're lucky to have the General Secretary of the PNC in our mix, Janet Nabila area ono so wa habi. Yeah. Na me say me kwaba na nka ya hwe say State of the Nation address no. Sector by sector na fa yi ni mampanyi kwa akra gina akra hu awese ode awe. But any so mfano say hope biom. Nkrashe biom. And I say, any dash from could be a mampenny dear today. The work can be the way mama in terms of sports, yes, I also touch your work at credit. I don't know my who say only John Evans Fiat say University of Ghana. No more you monano pa. Yaba, why?
Oh, Fabia, no what you say, and who did you know?
Mom, Charles, I took personal dad by no. Send me the chimney, and no men session, and I'm able to know me.
Wait, no excuse. Abo Fratty, what's sorry, no pa. I will say what you true say. A son, where did you? Now, no, so Adiana, sorry. What you true say?
Yes, ma'am. Medical kids toothpaste now, or the buy and run, and they treat me see.
Why are dear? Cal kids toothpaste, dear. Yeah, mamma, fat someone may be infirm, you know, optimum fiancé.
That is a strawberry. Now be send me dimple.
There be any your toothpaste and your toffee. Why? Yes, I the Cal Kids toothpaste. The mama fra with the infirm you know, copy the fiancé and the tree won't say. Every say, a boy a seer in one bottle crew. Anna a share a pamumwa a hasse. Ne man of what day mappa. Me bomber say, me the Cal Kids toothpaste. The mammy made tree won't say. Abribia Cal Kids toothpaste. And mama fra sit to tree and need Jesus.
Happy smile. FDA, Agya,
apomode mapade eno ane Hepa Plus mixture.
Pavi Plasmox. Hepa Plus mixture. Etutu malaria na sekura.
Sweet darling,
my beautiful baby.
Hepa Plus mixture ye busie ya no mama hoden aba. Busumi pini menti asie medo.
Tie Hepa Plus mixture. Enye adwuma ebeye wo nipadua mu no. Afie kura na ebeye nwanwa mo. Eduro ye ma general well-being. Ebusua pomodin ho hia me yie. Esni bibia. Entimi manom pefia ha.
She, we Hepa Plus husband.
You the one Hepa Plus husband, and the also we Hepa Plus wife. Na abano Hepa Plus mixer. My dear ready pa. Pavi Plasmox. And na Hepa Plus nina. A pin for about or more manufo. And kwada we nfie du yenu ka ho. Our pharmacist in Hepa shop. At phone for 0542 778 572 and now 0549 297-463. Hepa Plus mixer. Mapobodra mapa.
MDRG ejweden kraso ya.
Sami sorry no pa. Kel Chaco toothpaste na me de twitwi me se. And ma me confidence. The money nyina.
Se wusia ama na me sifita go so na me sre a. Eya wanwa me de Kel Chaco toothpaste. Ene twitwi me se. Oba de ni pa e wo bidie mu no. Ene de aye Kel Chaco toothpaste. E boy sin ho ban. E free mwa e boy sin mu tokro. E se ahye ene munka. Sure say amani Kel Chaco toothpaste insoni. Yeti center for.
Me de magic Kel Chaco toothpaste at me na no pa na dwa me koda no. E ma me si ye fita. Confidence level kwaso entibi na ma. Na me si 32 ni na guso.
Enkane no ani ama me nim di bidie twitwi yense no. Asaya bebie mu o. Bidie wo Kel Chaco toothpaste mu no. MSC ye fita. E ma na hoden. Ne sayi nka bia. Na wonu me ye gram. Enunti mo amonom cafe, wine, any tobacco e kamo seso no. Abama mo Kel Chaco toothpaste. Sankofa yenchi.
Kel happy smile.
Aji ejodi nka to ya tumo.
Hot 93.9. Hot 93.9. Hot 93.9. Hot 93.9.
Ben trust in Fenfia, no me no about Pensamana June Pepe, still in the house, PNC General Secretary Janet Nabila Nafe, Haruna Maliba, State of the Nation address in Hong Kong. General, I'm say, we need to two baby or no so no one arguing. Now, Michelle de Busa say, hope bio at the anymana, and that's so Biom.
Okay, so who say or can say praise singing. How am I doing praise singing about free education?
As a baby or how?
Because no, so the problem is side time now you need free education. You compare number of people on free education compared to the time I almost hear this. That's one. Number two, obi the free education bar. Now we see win to men 20 mama ba. You just say you time now, and this time now. No need three school fees. Almost feeding fee. Almost do three life bill. Almost ye bibia as compared to. Any dear. Something I say Ghana for. You see, as I say, this election, you voted because of policies, not about. You policies never voting. And yes, sir. Say me see me your way, na me banner me ya. You can hold me accountable. Say me can ya. Who say okay me say this in with my president can say yeah and okay yeah. Or see here endorsing for the second time about passing affirmative action bill. Yes, I need delegation to him and okay. So me to me dina ham na meka whoop ya kwakwa disin onu ne kan today delegation say no about
which delegation included PNC
women's delegation.
Okay.
So into okay and say like me dina ham me person me can say so second one no say we share your educational system and your only government na betima ye parents so kan ho say won titi wo ba na odi ni ko SHS na okwa me kan we share most of the schools are obi mu wia people are stealing in our system and na e ba me say enye school no enye teachers no enye government enye parents na causes are trouble no we share so your educational system na we say 3 people are who February and na PNC say Ministry of Education if they don't do something like take what to call interdict these 3 people are yes we be because we can demonstrate because unkolamu wo hono mo a teachers for no yare e say o mo fa nko yare sebia mini wu ke say students na fa nkolamu ka yare sebia bisa wo say opposition political party be na ka bibi fa so nti wo be wo say kasa na ye kasa no is just to win power. Not that like we care about the people of Ghana. Until I will say it again, free education is better than the system we're having, no matter what, progressively. 1992, almost say progressive education. Progressive up to where? Progressive, see where na be kwa you be work now almost progressing progressing that did not give you a clear cut when we should do it. Now we started from 1992, how many years now? And still that progressing it has come to an end. And now obi obeba PNC government yamba say ye be progressive government. And yes we catch the Ghanaians say mo ko vote ma party bi obeba be progressive because the system is hard enough. Sure obi be ba be ka say odi free education obi changing to progressive system into see be tria school fees na sanfan ko biom Ghana for ma mo vote ma no na progressive no it has come to an end. And the PNC government
progressiveness
progressive up to where almost say progressive government this time be ba na ko free 1992 to now obi aba the year look it takes gas to be able to implement a decision. It takes the gas of someone to implement a decision. In the PNC for the challenges that are confronting the school feeding, but the year can say is better than all the previous governments apart from Nkrumah. Apart from Dr. Kwame Nkrumah is better than all the previous governments because free education is better than progressive education. Na sisi a wo bako school na wo su say wo tonyama ma progressive mbra and you know they will say this in how do they even say it? There you know where this power lies. Enu krampo edi assembly beba or can send p concerning nsema mekan ye no. One of them they say or see or see edi no kasa mekan ye no krampo
93.9
or see about
and this gender balance na say
gender balance no o kan bibi or see me ka say omo na di sa affirmative action ne baye we say na 1985 affirmative action 1985 and now the committee say omo di 50 delegation e call ye omo di call UN that omo like was it the Beijing conference 50 delegation omo call omo ko can say omo be pass they will give women 40% of governmental like in the government to represent Ghanaians. They will give 40% representation. Omo ne kan yenye ni wo. Bisani say in the government omo yes 40% no. Enye ye wo omo call UN. It is a convention under UN. And omo ko sign yes say we will give 40% representation to women. Omo ba ye omo anya sa representation no. Then we went from that place to 30% to now aye gina ha ye nim bebia ye wo yi. And na mo say ka omo really Ghana pa. It's about more than 30 years. You did PNDC and current government. You are more than 30 years ruling this country as NDC. And you will have mass. Now still we are in this era. Affirmative action bill be passed. Musuma ba mu NDC krampo about 3 times. And that's saying crampo.
One pass, yeah.
And one pass. And you are haters of women. Into parliamentarians and the NDC parliamentarians or more current parliament. More ba obabi and voting mano because you are haters of women. I repeat, and you don't love this country. If you love this country, most of the things that are being done now will not be done because you are not doing anything. That one, dear, you are not doing anything to make sure that the lives of Ghanaians or the lives of women are better. Or care about this in fighting in other places are
election violence.
So you say election violence. How many mean MPP and NDC for? They are in it.
No, we were seeing good lamps.
Good lamps. Output talents. Ye cut time DNA. Into your car about so many things. I know almost with the Omokayano. The Okayano right. And I will share others. Everything so now almost with the NDC. We will say. Negative 1 plus 1 is equals to 0. They can it's like you do me, I do. It's Ghana for your peace. Because NDC for the NTM PSC for yes, Ghana for more months. Me say they are saying this as if like they were not in power. No, more power. The power. Na government to say like they are newly people Ghana for the new NDC. The new NDC.
Yes.
Not with who? all presidential candidate no mo diba ana eyobi fofo ni mo mu dada na djuma mo so ye wa Ghana nti se omo NDC MPP for omo ya diboni a ya diboni NDC for so ya diboni negative 1 + 1 is equals to 0 we anka NDC ni so wa anka no omo di MPP for media from the PNC point of view Ghanaians are looking for change so we change omo see change any NDC how can it be NDC na NDC ye change NDC dey to aso any change why they not in government so PNC for na the proper change the Ghana 4% omo who change no who policies are me say mo presidential candidate or nursing training colleges akokachi omo say oba or make your life better during your regime what catch the nurses say omo ko hwehwe omo djuma na omo ye this in accountants omo ye what omo ye omo na ko pay djuma e ban say the nurses we omo say this in government employ omo they should go and look for their own job mo na mo kai we nyami o e na mo so yi sa this in allowance free ho na mo ye we ya nurses say we ko say like are you reversing back because of this in power. Integrity matters. And Ghana cannot be taken for granted by the
maintain on care about 24-hour economy.
24-hour economy. And you at times are not person menka.
Okay.
Because DNA 24-hour economy. And yeah, policy. This policy was stolen from APC by the NDC. Yeah, say media for now 24-hour economy. 2020 manifesto.
Yes.
We share APC for all manifesto. Don't say stamp.
24-hour economy.
APC for APC for manifesto. Let's say we 24-hour economy. Our animal. It's a ban saying all of a sudden 24-hour economy. APC for and Ghana for we now move kasa. They should bring their own policy. Omo kasa and then nukrampo mameka nukre and your policy in kasa.
24-hour
economy. Slogan. Yes,
policy modi ba yes want game changer.
No,
game changer.
Me say almost see use na when. Sa papa no. Me hwe no a ya na ye me ya. When a man who in charge of TUC, and I did TUC, and now you're trade union. When a man starts a financial position, or be only foresight, how can you call 24-hour economy a game changer for who? As I say, pull him to come and express to you the game changing in it. There is no game changing in 24-hour economy.
What can carry the current PDF now? Where to touch? Why we should trust Mahama? I'll bet me.
Share. You say maybe NDC MPP for power for 8 years. Yes. Now but you can create 24-hour economy. It is not policy. It's a form policy sembrawo mun na ye kom ama NDC for kasa to say o man ba power da meanwhile o ba power you now the lapses are and the incompetence are equal so in Ghana
really
and MPP for o kasa me see the only political party that is the game changer is the People's National Convention PNC. Not NDC I almost see 24-hour economy e betima ye de mo we dey catch me 24-hour economy no shey we are already operating 24-hour economy shey awol me ankasa we call maminka we I don't know say me we call St. John's me fear by St. John's
okay
and ye we nipa mo wo ho mo ye 90 juma as a result Indomie sellers ye ka about mo ye tea ni edwane ekama omo operate because
tea for no kra de madam for back or sek wona anado ya no
it is 24-hour economy it is demand that proves that you should operate a 24-hour economy obi a oye forestry commissioner we see won ko ye 24-hour economy na wo nka no wo hono mo na ye fasika you do this national health insurance
light baby a sell light bill ne bo benre
light you pay nipa na beto no mo hipa nipa no mo hi some things don't operate 24 hours that is not a policy me ankasa me wo me juma no me hu say omutwa e buy na juma I will do it. I will operate
hours. Support now they are running 24 hours.
No, me any support. Omo say wuntua dachi. Me jina dobia anadu me wo bia at the end of the day lots of people will go to prison instead of operating 24-hour economy. They are going to end up operating 24-hour prisons because number one we do musika na wuntua. They will so it is a 24-hour economy no. We already have it. It is like it is there. It operates by itself. It is not human beings that says it. 24-hour economy operates upon demand. Say Bibia kosu here. 24-hour economy will come. Share Domi market. They are operating 24-hour economy. Our Domi market.
Domi St. John's
market 24-hour economy. There is demand for certain things. So those people open their stores and they sell throughout. So wait 24-hour economy game changer. How is it going to change your game? No, 24 how?
Game changer.
Radio stations. We will have because Nipa Mutiemu.
Yes.
Now anadua mobi antiemu. Now busy who operating 24-hour economy. We bet your light bill. You will pay for this thing. You will pay for utilities and things. We yes we are operating. And please 24-hour economy.
But let's send the PDF no.
About the 24-hour economy.
You go through so that we can analyze it well. Yes, because I want to say after reading it.
We catch them 24-hour economy.
Yes.
We have more pay obi antiomu during anajo. Obi say we operating 24-hour economy. We be operating. 24-hour economy is not a policy. It runs by itself. It runs by itself. And what is a bank they are operating 24-hour economy.
A typical example, Mr. Passport Office, but we are running 24-hour economy.
Passport office. So like passport office, so that people can travel out of Ghana. Our human resource brains. PNC, you see, stop the brain drain. Rather import brain gain. And I'm passport office. Passport obi a obe tu kwaya from Ghana mo yanya 24 hours so don't be yanya 10 ma and a policy. It is a dangerous policy for the people of this country.
Dangerous policy
because in certain sectors forestry commission for mo 24 hour mo be ka mo ho mo akoso trouble into the
93.9
24-hour economy or say a dangerous policy. PNC General Secretary Amadu Bampache Mpong.
See and then in here kabayem yapa
India. Wow, policy abema wake kanko. Dangerous policy.
Let me deal with this. Men can say education is bad or that is the NDC position. No. But I told you where we were starting it from. But as we speak, quality education in Ghana have been compromised. It has completely.
President has said for you can't the best WASI result. This very best WASI result. No, but these are records for them.
So, President Mahama has said it time and again that upon his assumption of office, we are going to engage stakeholders. Charles and all other stakeholders who matter in the critical sector to deal with the challenges and to better the free educational system, so that the positive impact of it will be felt for the Ghanaian society at large. Wusu, educational year can PNC General Secretary say time now colleges of educational heading. MPP own budget, please. That's okay. That's okay. I mean, who's the question? Yeah. Okay. I don't need to ask you anything because all kind of matter. In fact, so we share colleges of education now. You're spending over 50.63 million as a feeding grant to colleges of education. Feeding grant. We were feeding them. Colleges of education, including nursing and that of what?
But I
am saying that it's a support. This is how do you call it? What we did in that.
The person who's a baby about or
I'm saying that what we did. Under MPP, there is this letter I have here. October 31st, 2022.
How to compare PNC
from Penkoff?
She was comparing PNC.
What do you want me to compare?
PNC.
Remember?
Hot 93.9.
Request for permission to ask students in the colleges of education to fend for themselves. I write on behalf of the Penkoff, that's the Conference of Principals of Colleges of Education, Penkoff, to seek your approval for principal to ask students to fend for themselves, effective Monday, November 7, 2022. That is it. And the letter continues because I can't read all. Under the praise singing, me nearby a year to Akufado Abaino. This is the level we have gotten to. But let me leave it briefly and come to the 24-hour economy or Kawasam. The painful thing is say onipa wu ni made na wu mbusa e ma ye nkyira wo na wu hu na wu ntiase. After all, we will not invite you to come and support us, and that policy is not meant for our political opponents. It is meant for the people of Ghana who have accepted the policy wholeheartedly because they know what that 24-hour economy policy would do for us. Madam, and your slogan, if you don't understand the differences between slogans and policies, then go and learn.
Now say a dangerous policy.
Please, I'm coming. Go and learn. There's nothing difficult at all about it. So I just want to say yes, I know free APC for manifesto.
Yeah.
I want to call them children.
Say proud to election 2020 parties no be in the manifesto.
This is a manifesto. In fact, this 21-hour policy, 24-hour economic policy, it only became prominent this time. But now, far back in 2024, it came as a result of the People's Manifesto production. And the ideas are Ghana for offer that gave birth to 24-hour economic policy.
93.9.
The Ghanaian people own the policy. The policy belongs to the people. That's why they have accepted it. And I'm saying, yeah, 24-hour economy was the Indomie sellers. Wow. This is the level at which you have reduced politics to. Very ridiculous. And I was wondering,
Hot 93.9.
no country in the world, China, Britain, United States, Germany, the advanced economies, they don't run that 24, how do we call it, 8-hour cycle. No? Is that how they do? Oh, Bush, you know, Bush, your friend. But
advanced countries.
My call me first shift, may call me second shift.
Yeah, advanced countries.
That's what they do.
Ghana do the advanced level.
Not fine. That is it. See, they are thinking.
Okay.
Not now. When?
Okay.
Not now. When? If it is not now, then when? The 24-hour economic system. What does it mean?
Okay.
Creating a 3-shift economic system whereby businesses can operate 24/7 around the clock. And by creating that 24-hour economic system, you'll be able to create space.
Okay, the graphic online, December 5th, 2023, APC lays claim to
2023
policy. Yeah.
2023. After we are done with the year 2020 elections.
No, I see late claim to
the first claim
24 hours.
Throw that garbage away. Throw that garbage away.
Ayerga is
why didn't you steal it from us? One of the rivers. What we are doing is that the 24-hour economy, there are certain organizations who we are targeting so far as this policy is concerned.
But some organizations are more targeted for the 24-hour economy.
Let me get my document.
Separate person you're buying
93.9.
What's the constitution?
And this, I know a manifesto. I know now pet 24-hour economy. I get one second. Okay.
Hot 93.9.
My document that
not your time so.
Yeah, time also.
Yeah.
I'll just deal with it.
Yeah.
Briefly, I think that I have it.
Hot 93.9.
The 24-hour economy.
Yeah.
These are the entities that we are
mobile target
we are focusing on. Look, agro processing.
But 24-hour. 24.
Now, well, Kwalugu tomato factory, Kuruma. What has happened to the factory?
Ngui.
Agu.
Hot
Commander Sugar Factory, what has happened to it?
Agu.
We revived the Commander Sugar Factory and left it for this government. They have left it to rot.
Hot 93.9.
Almost NDC created excess power. Couldn't they have used that excess power to run these factories and increase productivity, export it, and generate revenue for the country? And also, agro processing. Look at the vast lands we have across the country.
As I said, so.
CSC and more particularly,
any
grains can't produce enough and feed our factories, process them, consume it, and export the surplus, at least to our neighboring countries and generate revenue. Can't we do that?
And then 24-hour
economy.
Yeah.
The pharmaceutical companies. Mahama time. We produce antiretroviral drugs. Oh, Kruma, you're aware of that? Produce NS chemists. Are they able to produce it again? So if this 24-hour economy, government is to give incentive and support to the pharmaceutical industry of Ghana, can't we produce enough and billions of dollars a year and you are here talking about industry? I mean, what they confuse in their mind.
That's the
confusion. Say your mother who allocated 5 minutes, 24-hour economy. I will not be able to solve all the issues and the policy.
Production next week.
We are not talking about
Production next week Tuesday, 24-hour economy straight. Because of the effective parliament house into the course, next week 24-hour economy, you don't have time and break it down. Why? But for now, the general secretary of PNC say the 24-hour economy is a dangerous policy. Janet Nabila and a friend Haruna Maliba AND Cinema Pamidini Joe Swansa Biom Nyami Aduma. Why? China Yebesia.
Almighty day.